my retired English teacher, Ken Norris. Hello, Ken.
Hello, nice to see you again, Philip.
So tell me, Ken, what year were you born?
1937.
1937. And so, I presume you're now retired.
Yes, you could say that.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Certainly.
Now, Ken, what's your first memory as a child?
I think probably an aunt and uncle visiting. We lived in England at that point.
Gosh.
And they had a big Alsatian called Cut. And lovely big dog. You could play with it, sit on its back, all that sort of thing. But I learnt in later years, my uncle has always said to my parents, now look, when Kurt and Kenneth are in the same room or area, I will pay no attention much to Kenneth.
Right.
Only for Kurt.
Oh, I see.
In case the dog ever gets jealous.
Ah, right. Now, why did you start work yourself, Ken? Have you always been a teacher?
Yes, that's right.
Right, so you went to,
went to Glasgow University first of all, after school. Got an MA. And then after that you had to do a year's teacher training at Jordan Hill.
And how was Jordan Hill? Was it okay?
Oh, it was pretty simple compared to the university. And the trouble was, I lived in East Kilbride.
All right.
So it's one thing to travel from East Kilbride to university.
Yes.
But then start doing it from East Kilbride to Jordan Hill.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Took up quite a lot of the day.
And
back and forth every day.
Where was your first school then?
In Hamilton.
Hamilton, right.
At St John's Grammar.
Wow.
The school doesn't exist now. In the comprehensive era, Hamilton Academy and St John's Grammar united.
Right, gosh.
Hence, Hamilton from the Academy, Grammar from St John's.
All right.
And there's still St John's Primary in Hamilton, believe it or not.
Now, have you always taught English?
But when I started off, it was English, history and geography.
All right. Wow.
But as the schools got bigger, so we had to more opt for one or the other.
You opted
for the English.
Fantastic. Now,
well, that was a wise one to choose. It's got a lot of extra marking compared with other subjects. But
we see, my first memory of you is 1972 when I came to Stonelaw, and you were my English teacher.
Room 14.
That's right. Do you remember me?
Yes, right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think it was S2. I think it was in. Whatever S. What did S stand for?
Secondary.
No,
S2. You'll be 2 A, B, C, D, or whatever.
Oh, I see.
One of these classes. Yeah, every class.
J2 was it?
That was. Well, it could be J1, 2J1, 2J2, because you were in Jedburgh House.
That's what it was.
Mr Douglas.
Right. So why were the houses scanned?
Oh, mainly for sports day and that kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
And it meant the house staff, of which I was one,
yes,
they could deal with the same family.
Oh, right.
So if you had a pupil in 5th year, another one in 2nd year, another one in 1st year, you could deal with a parent for all three. They didn't have to go around and see 3 different house staff.
Oh, right. Wow.
And repeat everything they've told them before.
Yes, of course.
And knew the houses were named after the border abbeys around the school.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Kelso, Melrose, Triper.
Of course, I never knew that.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it like to teach English back in the 70s?
It was probably easier than it is now.
Yeah. Do you find the kids are all different now, Ken? Where?
I would think so. I mean, I've been out of actual teaching for a long time.
Right.
But then classes were quite good.
Yeah. You ran the school stamp club. At its peak, how many people were you sending first year covers out to?
I would think it must be around 25 or so for each of the new issues.
Wow. Was that not a bit of a task?
I suppose it was at the time, but...
Because you had to handwrite all the envelopes.
Yes, but they didn't issue quite as many stamps, to put on the envelopes.
True.
And they were a good bit cheaper then too.
The last one I got, which was my favourite of all time programmes, is Dad's Army.
You said.
Oh, absolutely love that programme. Yeah. So thank you for all the... Now you've sent these out since I was, I think, 14 or 12 or something. Gosh, that was the 1970s.
So I started when the school Stonewall started,
Yes.
1970.
Yeah.
And did it right through till what, 93.
Yeah.
So, quite a
Wow.
long time.
So,
I was helped by Mr Davidson,
oh, I see.
technical.
Gosh, yeah.
remember
Wow.
him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Mr Rushworth, you probably know him. He was also technical, actually.
All right. Wow. That's good.
And he's very active still, Mr Rushworth.
Do you have a favourite first take ever, Ken?
Well, several. Usually if it's connected with ships.
Oh, of course, yes.
Would be my favourite for that point of view.
I was going to say to you was, well, what's your favourite stamp you've actually got? Have you got a very valuable stamp or something?
I think probably one of the best would be a high value used Gibraltar.
All right.
Probably Edward the Seventh.
Oh, wow.
That'll be one of the dearer ones.
How old is that?
Well, about 1908.
1908? Oh my goodness, wow.
Yes,
Is that worth a bob or two?
I think so.
Have you any penny blacks?
Yes, I've got a used one and I've got one on cover.
All right.
I only wanted one.
How many school cruises did you end up doing?
18. No, 19.
19, wow.
Because the Falklands night in 1982 would have been my 20th.
Wow.
But it was all going fine. But it was at May, I think it was May in Falklands, April, May.
Mm-hmm.
We had the ship had been requisitioned.
Oh, I see.
Cruises were cancelled.
Gosh. Back in 1974, Ken, we went a cruise. That was my first cruise with the school. Now, we started off from the school and went through to Dundee to the SS Uganda.
That's right, yes.
What do you remember for that cruise, Ken?
Well, some different things merged from different cruises where you do one a year.
Of course.
We didn't sail out of Dundee that often.
Yes, I did wonder, because I've never been out of Dundee since.
We've been out at least twice from Dundee.
All right.
And when I looked up the things, it was Captain Young.
All right, gosh.
And there's another captain, probably slightly after that, Captain Kerry. And coming into Dundee at one point, he hit one of the sandbanks.
Oh, gosh, wow.
Didn't do any damage.
No.
It delayed the docking.
Wow. Now, the first port of call was Santander. Now, why did we end up in Spain?
Well, he wanted to go south.
Oh, see, right, fair dues.
But we always had it during summer holidays.
Right, of course.
If we had the choice, we would go south rather than north
Of course.
for the weather.
Yep.
Although you did have the longer trip, maybe you remember.
Oh, yes, yes.
Maybe.
The Bay of Biscay.
So you had to start up in the North Sea or the Clyde.
Yeah.
Go south, English Channel, through the go around the Bay of Biscay and then find the port.
Yeah.
Very first cruise we did, Corunna was the first port.
Now, do you remember anything of Santander itself?
Not particularly, I must be honest.
It's one thing I remember Santander. It's the name of a bank.
That's right. That's it.
I presume that's where it's based then.
Probably started somewhere.
Spain.
No, normally it's either Vigo or Corunna they tend to go to.
All right. Oh, I see.
Santander was unusual. It was probably a cheaper port for docking the ship.
Oh, of course, yes.
Be my guess.
You've got to take that into consideration, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
From there we set off to Lisbon and then Guernsey. Now, Lisbon, you must remember something about Lisbon then.
Oh yes, Lisbon. Umpteen times. That's a very good port. Have you been back to it?
Yeah. No, since then, no.
You should do.
Yes.
You enjoy it.
I remember the lovely sandstone, carved sandstone.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
Geronimos Monastery.
That's right.
Yes.
And the
Basin Tower.
Jesus up the hill.
That's right.
Wow.
Statue of Christ the King.
That's right. Fantastic.
On the other side. Now there's a bridge, of course.
All right.
Oh, was it there then? I think it would be there then. The bridge across.
No, I don't know.
Wasn't in my earlier days, but
And then we went to Guernsey. Now, do you remember Guernsey at all?
yes, it's pleasant enough. I think everyone would enjoy wandering around the shops.
Yes, that's right.
You couldn't get lost very easily,
No.
but you couldn't some others.
Now, the last place we went to in that trip was, of course, Amsterdam.
Yes.
Now, what did the teacher say to the pupils? You should never say to people, never go to red light district.
I think they had a talk on every port.
All right.
And I think they probably mentioned it then.
Oh, I see.
And so mention it and what they do.
That's
Boys in
what
particular.
Yep.
Where's this? I don't think you'd see very much either.
No, you don't. No. It was just fun.
During the day.
It was fun.
Evening you might notice a little more.
That was a lovely place. I've been there since as an adult. I had a great time. Absolutely lovely place.
Did you go to the Anne Frank house?
Yes, I've been to Anne Frank house.
We didn't do it with the school, I don't
No, we didn't. No.
Too many people.
Yeah, that's right. We went past on the boat though.
And the canal trip.
The canal trip, that's right.
Well, they used to do it quite well, you know. And then the rest of the time you have a wander.
Absolutely.
Always going in groups of, quite like groups of 5.
Yes.
The only troubles we learnt was not every taxi takes 5 pupils.
Oh, I see, gosh.
So it's split into 3 and 2 or something. But if you take 4, there's danger of splitting off 2 and 2.
Oh, I see.
But you see, it was very good because we had always established after one occasion in Madeira, they always used to say the school must be gathered on the dock outside.
Right.
When their party is complete, bring them ashore, bring them aboard. And once on Madeira, that was the rule. And so there you had every school party at about 20 to 1 waiting on the seats. Why are they waiting? I've got 1 to come, I've got 2 to come. And they waited. And the headmaster said, what's happening? And so eventually he said, all right, we'll let you put them on in penny numbers if you want. He wasn't pleased. He knew he was wrong. If you want, we can put them on in penny numbers. But you must lead them to the gangway and see them on the ship yourself.
Yep. Well.
So, that's great. See, the trouble is, if queue up like that, they're going to take ages to get on board.
Yes, of course.
The ship will be late sailing.
Yep.
They have to pay more. Into the bargain, if pupils get back early, what's the sense in getting back 12:30? Yep. We've got to stand there till 10 to 1. So it's not bother getting back till later. No. Which makes some of them even later.
Oh.
So we always, as teachers, decided we would get back early. And any pupils there, pick them off, take them to the gangway. Right, I've got 3, thank you. And the Masters at Arms wouldn't let anybody off again.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Quite right.
You remember the word Masters at Arms?
Yes, we very much so. Yes, not to be messed about with.
No, I mean, they were doing the job.
Yes, of course.
And of course, they were more used to, maybe they're ex-Navy.
Yeah, of course.
And Merchant Navy, and they're quite, say it, they mean it. So that's how that happened, and never after it was that way. I think that was probably before I came to Son way back in the 60s.
I see, gosh.
Because my first cruise was 1962. School cruising.
Gosh.
That's right. It more or less started at 61. And the school had a letter in about these new school holiday cruises, you see. And one of the older staff gentlemen said, it might be worth trying that. So I looked around the men's staff room. Anybody here interested in going if I tried to do it? And himself, Andrew Gould was interested, and I was interested. And Jimmy Chester from Technical, he became interested. And we got 2 or 3 ladies interested. And St John's had very big parties. At times over 100.
Wow.
Of course, each teacher had so many, as you know. And that was it.
Is that something you've enjoyed over the years then?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's probably what started me on cruising.
Yeah,
real cruising.
Yes, of course.
Which I didn't do for some years. Because this was always during, bar 1, they were all during summer holidays.
All right. Fantastic.
Yes, that's right. Only once did we get the last fortnight of June. I think that's because the rector was going.
All right.
He said, that'll be all right, I'll get the time off for you. Earlier ones, the ships were Danira and Devonia.
All right, yes.
And they had really been troop ships during the war.
Oh, see.
Built in the 1930s, troop ships during the war. Both survived.
Oh.
And they had most interesting cases up near the bridge of all the regiments that had travelled on. Their badges and everything. Wow. And that was really interesting.
Yes, of course.
That was very good. But that's when I was telling you that before the rules changed,
yes,
dormitories could be below the waterline.
Ah, right, yes. But
When I said that to you, Philip, you didn't seem too keen on the idea.
No, don't fancy that one.
You hear the splosh.
In 1989, do you remember a case for Stonelaw?
Yes, certainly. That was the SOS Save Our Stonelaw.
That's right, yes.
Because it was in danger of disappearing, I think.
Very much so.
They weren't going to build a new school. I don't know what they were going to do exactly, but
They see that actually worked.
it worked. Because the new school was forthcoming, I think, which opened, I think, by 1998.
That's right, yes.
But the building up on Templeton's Field,
Yes.
where the ponies used to be. It wasn't actually all that big a site,
No.
I don't think.
No.
They could have done with a bigger site,
Oh, I see.
I think.
This school, Stonelaw High, rated one of the top 11 in the country, has survived 4 name changes and 2 world wars since it opened in 1886.
Yes, but compared to the old school, what's your thoughts about the old school and the new school?
In what way?
Well, as far as the teacher's concerned, was it... I know what the annex just didn't help. Is that the downside of the old school?
I think it'd be the downside. People's travelling up and down. I think they tried to make it the main movement were intervals.
Yeah,
or lunchtime.
Yeah, that's right.
But that made it more difficult. You just adapted to it and got on with it.
Yeah, of course.
It was very awkward. You didn't have access for a screen.
Yeah, true.
Or television things. If there was one at your level, it could trundle out the cupboard to a room.
Yeah, true.
But the difficulties were such that we didn't do it as often as we could have done. The new school had far more facilities.
Of course, and I presume that was the plus point for it.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, having said that, we liked the old building.
Yeah, of course.
I liked my room, I must admit.
Yeah. It was
on the balcony.
Very, as you say, old school.
Yeah. Very much like the school I'd been in as a pupil in Hamilton.
Yeah, of course. So, going back to cruises, Ken, what's your most memorable cruise you've been on? Or fanciest boat, let's say?
I suppose the fanciest boat must be the QM2.
All right.
She really is good. Although she has so many thousands of people, when you walk along the areas, you look and say, where is everybody?
Wow.
Very quiet. They're all everywhere. But that's the fanciest ship, I think.
So is that a Queen second then?
Yes.
Oh. Where did that sail from, Ken?
Mainly Southampton. It's the only ship that does the across the Atlantic and back nowadays.
Oh, I see.
But she does do ordinary cruising as well.
Did you end up in America then?
Yeah. Yes.
Right, well.
I mean, Southampton, New York, come back to Southampton, then go to Hamburg.
Well,
so she can drop the Europeans off there and get more. And British. She's very popular. Or you can fly. You can go out with her and fly back, or vice versa.
Oh, I see. Right. Wow.
That type, like the old QE2.
So did you go by boat and then back again? Did you go both ways?
No, one way.
One way. All right. And fly back.
Yes. I mean, 6 days across the Atlantic. It's not a lot to see. You can see the boat, enjoy the boat and everything. Yeah. But
yes, I know from being on a cruise myself about 20 years ago, there's only so much that can keep you occupied.
Mm-hmm.
And it tends to be food.
Yeah. Some of the talks are quite good.
Yeah.
We've got the gym if you want.
Of course, yeah.
And all these things all thrown in.
If that's what you're into, yeah, true.
Yes, that's right.
Now tell me, Ken, if you could go back to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to yourself?
Make sure you can enjoy your work. Otherwise it could become a nuisance.
Yeah.
And not just in teaching, probably in anything.
Yes.
Sort of work with people, not in competition with them.
Good point, actually, good point, yeah. Now, I presume is there much competition in when you, as a teacher with other teachers?
I suppose in the earlier years it might be somebody was aiming for promotion somewhere and they thought they would do this.
Oh, I see, of course.
The rector would look upon it, oh, he does that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that type of thing. But no, it's not really competition for a job.
No.
If they're moving elsewhere.
Yeah, it's true.
And most people move at some point.
So, you're now retired. So what did you do in your retirement? How did you keep yourself occupied?
Very easily. For the first few years, I got early retirement. And that was when Queen's Park shut.
All right, of course, yes.
And the over 50s were made offers.
All right, well.
Most of them took it. I think the ones that didn't take it still had children in school. I'm not sure what costs lay ahead, university or whatever, would have enough, you know. But, yes, I think we, after that, a little bit. I never did a lot of supply. 2 days a week, possibly 3, no more. And I said to the gentleman organising it, I didn't retire to do a full week.
No, true. And you still see many of your colleagues?
Yes, yes. We have an annual lunch.
Wow.
In the King's Park Hotel.
Oh, right, gosh, that's not far away.
Well, the school's in Rotherglen.
Of course.
They know Rotherglen.
Yeah.
It's got good parking.
Yeah, true.
And got a good meal lunchtime.
Yeah, good, probably.
So we've been doing that for 25 years now.
Wow. And when's your next
April.
April,
Yeah,
right.
we'll come
It's not far away.
But you know quite a few.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mr McInnes, Art?
Ah, yeah, oh yes, very much so.
He still comes.
Oh.
Miss Winning.
Miss Winning, gosh, Miss Winning.
She still comes. Who else? Do you know Mrs Clarkson? Business Studies.
No, was it
Mr Syme, Modern Studies. Mr Nielsen, Art History.
Mr Nielsen, is he not history?
Yes.
Oh yes, I remember him.
Yeah,
Him and I were good combatants.
Then Mr Burns and Mr Bowen.
Oh yes, Mr Bowen.
Both of them.
Yes, I see him now and again in Burnside.
Mr Bowen you will.
Yeah, very much so.
So, it was quite... Mrs Taggart probably wasn't there when you were in music. She left before that.
Yeah.
She comes.
The person that was there in my year was Agnes Hoy.
Oh yes, well she was there for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's still with us.
No,
She passed away.
Well, I don't know. 10 years ago.
That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she was very active. She came a lot of cruises.
I see, I know Alexis. Remember Anne, the school, the music teacher?
And Cowan.
And her Cowan.
Yes, she comes to lunch.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
Wow.
So Mr Cookley is out in, did you know him?
Oh yes, he was a headmaster one, but was he not? Yeah.
So he's now out in Hong Kong.
Is he? Wow. Wow.
I think it's an international school there.
Wow. Yeah.
So he's out doing that. But it's interesting, the different ones, different eras that meet up again, you know?
It must be nice to see them all again.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we can get up to 30 at the meeting.
Wow, fantastic.
Right, so we're just getting news in now. Yes, I'm coming. Blah.
Oh, right, yes.
That's that thing.
Good.
That's always quite good.
See when you go home at night time, how do you switch off from being a teacher?
As a teacher? I suppose you don't very often, especially if in English, because you've got marking to do.
Oh, of course.
I don't say you'll do it every night.
No.
But you've got to do a certain amount within the week, so you might do a lot on 2 nights and nothing the next one. Or you keep the week, Friday night free, or it just depends how it goes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, exam time, you're at it full tilt.
Obviously, when you're on a cruise, I presume is that just time off? Or depending whether it was a cruise with pupils or just a normal cruise that you would go on yourself?
Well, I didn't go once myself until after school once had finished.
Oh, I see.
But no, school was a good bit of time.
So seeing this,
you were busier on board then, of course. You were on duty.
Yeah, so I was going to say,
wandering around and say patrol the lunchroom, eating room.
Yep.
Remember the tin trays?
Oh God, aye. Jesus.
Very sensible. Because they could be,
Yeah, of course it was sensible, but
when they were washed, they were perfect,
what a noise.
clean. Yes, I know. Sweet.
I'll tell you the story about Ken.
Don't get your customer the mince.
I was eating with the wrong, the knife was fought in the wrong hands.
Oh.
And I get pulled out by a teacher from a different school. And
why did you do that? Did you always do that?
I was just collie fisted, I think.
Did you, at home, did you do that?
I did, yes.
Oh, yes.
And I said, this went on me. I got lines for that.
Oh, that wasn't fair.
The good thing is, at least we all chipped in and we
3 lines each.
the teachers used to know that happened.
No. If they did, they wouldn't bother.
Oh, is that right?
Just don't make yourself stop digging. If you're in a hole, stop digging, you know?
Yeah, fair news.
No, I don't think that was quite fair. Maybe he thought you were cheeky, of course. You got it more for cheek than doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thanks very much.
Right, thank you.
That's good. Thanks, Ken.
That's interesting. Thank you very much.
It's good to re-insert
Talk about these things again.
Yeah, absolutely.